Hello and welcome to Biz Daily. I'm Jon Jordan. So the news today is Gameloft has announced its latest quarterly financial figures. So it's always interesting for us on the business side to have a look at some figures and see what trends we can kind of find from them. So Gameloft is the French mobile game publisher. It's been going for a long time. So we have a pretty good kind of track record of what's going on with it. So it announced its Q2 figures. That's the period April, May, June 2015. So the sales there were 62 million euros. So fairly decent sum of money, but obviously we need to kind of look at some trends. So that's actually up 12% year on year. There's a lot of movement in currency at the moment, so Gameloft has broken out what that increase would be if currency was the same year on year, and actually takes it down to 3%. Is that right? Yes. So I'll check with my notes down there. So it's up 3%. So that seems like a reasonable performance from Gameloft, but if you actually compare the figures quarter on quarter, so you compare the April, May, June figures to the January, February, March figures, which is kind of what people probably should be doing now, because we're not in a retail game environment, we're in a game as a service environment. So we're not, don't need to, what happened a year ago is a long time ago, things should be happening month on month. People should be playing and paying your game every week, every day maybe. If you look at the quarter on quarter figures, the sales are actually down 5%. So Gameloft isn't going to go bust. It's still a profitable company. It's got kind of cash. It's not a kind of a basket case by any means. But you don't want to see your sales going down. So what particularly is kind of worrisome, I guess, for Gameloft is that its downloads are still pretty good. So it's the #1 rated games publisher across iOS and Google Play in terms of downloads. So people are downloading its games, but people clearly aren't playing its games for long periods of time, and people, more importantly, aren't paying in its games. And again, another worrying sign is Gameloft actually held back some games for release in 2014 to 2015. It wanted to kind of spend more time polishing them, getting them ready. It's released 8 games already this year. We'll release another 8 to 10 games in 2015. So that's almost getting on for potentially 16, 18 games in the year. So it's putting out games. Some of them have been pretty good. Siegefall is one that came out recently. It's kind of a strategy game, kind of taking on the Clash of Clans genre, putting some heroes and some card-based elements and stuff in it. It was a pretty nice game. But clearly people aren't engaging in it. And that's why it's seeing this kind of quarter-on-quarter drop in sales. And we can see this most clearly because Gameloft announced, or always announces, its monthly and daily active player or user numbers. So it's announced the kind of absolute numbers. It hasn't made the comparison. This is a comparison that we've made by looking at the previous quarter. But its monthly active player base is 162 million players, so that's pretty good. A large number of people playing, obviously, across a wide range of games, and Gameloft's been going for a long time, so it has a lot of legacy games in the market that people can be downloading and playing. But if we look at, that 162 million number is actually down 10% quarter on quarter. Actually, if we look at the daily active rate, that's 19 million players. Again, most companies would be pretty happy with that, but that's down 17% quarter on quarter. So we can see in the 2 quarters, the Gameloft has lost a lot of players. Obviously, there's new games coming out from other companies all the time, very competitive market. If your games aren't engaging with an audience, they're going to be playing something else very quickly. And we can see that that's kind of then been seen as in a decline in sales, because Gameloft isn't, it's losing players, so there's less players who are spending money. Now, obviously, this can change very quickly. So maybe one of those 8 games Gameloft released at the end of the year is going to be a massive hit. But I think there is concern, and it's not just for Gameloft; it's for lots of companies, that you can seem like you're kind of doing okay for one quarter, and then in a year's time or a quarter's time, you can kind of start to see a very different kind of change of business. And I guess that's what makes the industry so dynamic and so interesting. But also tricky if you're trying to run a company, and a big company like Gameloft. So we're going to have more financials over the next kind of week, or 2 weeks. It'd be interesting to see what other companies we can pull out and what other trends we can find. So I'll come back tomorrow and we'll see what we've got then. See you then.